Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, the DJI Mavic 3, I just did my first flight out at Dedication Point, and I moved to a different location, kind of a different, not very far, but a different spot on the canyon. Give us a little different view. Now I'm a ways off the canyon. I don't know, I'm probably where I'm standing here about half a mile from the edge of the canyon, but I'll stand back. You can kind of see this is actually a little piece of pavement here. It's got a bunch of gravel on top of it, but it's actually feels like a little bit of asphalt. So good place to take off from. And with this drone, it's so powerful and fast, and you got so much battery time. There's no point in getting too carried away. You know, you don't have to be you can take off from a distance away and you got plenty of battery power to get where you need to be. So that said, we're going to launch this thing. We're going to go over kind of a little different part of the canyon, more west than we are at Dedication Point. And there's just some areas here to look at. Yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, the drone's fired up and the controller is fired up. Let's start the Fly app now. And yeah, so there we have, for a second it showed the last picture from when we were out at Dedication Point. So it's on 4K 30, so we can use that zoom. I need to get some different glasses. Okay, I'm all set here. Yeah, you know, when you get old, it's like, holy cow. So I got to have the 3x magnification to see what I'm doing here. And the bottom half of these glasses has that just clear lens on top and 3x on the bottom. Works really good for me. But anyway, that's aside the point, right? You guys want to hear about the drone. We're going to shoot in 4K 30. That's where you have to be to be able to use the zoom. We're at 99% battery. I just charged that battery. I see it's in sport mode. We're going to put it back into normal mode. One of the things I want to show you, I bought this little device right here a long time ago. It fits down into the controller so you can attach a lanyard. I've never used it much. I thought this would be a good opportunity to try it, and you know what, it appears to work real well. And I guess while we're at it, we can kind of show you how my iPhone 13 Pro Max fits in the controller, and you can see it just, I've got the cover on it. It seems to work really well. One thing good about the cover that I have on this drone is it's got a big hole there, doesn't obstruct you to put the OTG cable in, so works great. So enough jibber jabber. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. And I forgot, I better look at the safety menu first. Safety menu, yeah, we got bypass on. Everything is set perfectly on our limitations. It's not asking for any kind of calibrations. New battery, but let's take a look at that. And it shows times charge 0. Well, it's been charged once, but yeah, everything 4.33 volts across the board. So we're good to go. And let's go ahead and start recording now. Again, we're going to be in 4K 30. And yeah, let's just go ahead and take off on the app. Do an auto takeoff. And that was Matt Cundiff just making a little comment there on my phone. You saw that jump on there just for a second. And then look at that, there's the radar from the obstacle avoidance. That's pretty darn cool, and it's 360 degree. So let's go ahead and bring the drone around here and take a look. And boy, I'll tell you, so I'm, you know, the sun is behind me here, so I'm kind of dark there, but let's just see how far we can bring the drone in. Yeah, and look at that, it just automatically wanted to pick it up. So it saw that and it says, no, I'm not gonna have any of that. Let's bring it over here. Let's drop it down. And so this is probably a good way to show how that APAS works. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna move forward slowly, and it should go right over the top of us. And look at that, it's raising by itself. And it went over to the side and the top of us there. So that's how that APAS works. I'm bringing the drone back now, and it sees us there. So let's bring it down. We're going to do our droney, and this is going to be a different direction than we usually do, but That's kind of cool. Well, you know what? We don't want to do that because it's looking into the sun, isn't it? We want to go the other way. So I'm going to turn the GoPro around here, and so you can see the drone, and I'm going to go over the top of it, top of the GoPro. And now I'm looking into the sun, so it makes it kind of difficult, but there we are. Let's drop this drone down a little bit. Drop that gimbal down because we know we're going to be going up. So yeah, this is going to be a manual droney, and it's going to be a long one. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And I'm being pretty ginger on that up stick, trying not to go up too fast. This drone will go, it will ascend at a very high speed. So yeah, let's leave it. We're about 25 meters high. Let's leave it right there. Let me pick the gimbal up just a little, too much. And we're holding the stick straight back. You're going to see some power lines below us here in a second. There they are. And we should be over the canyon here in a little bit. We'll see how long it takes here to get over the canyon. We're going full reverse right now. And the cool thing about it is obstacle avoidance, hey, you know, nothing to worry about. And of course, I know this territory, there's nothing there that's going to hit. But even if you didn't, it gives you some confidence to know that, hey, and so you can see the territory. I mean, this is like, you know, this is, I guess you'd call it high desert. And there's the side of the canyon right there. I'm dropping the gimbal down just a tad. Let's yaw around to the drone's left here a little bit. And there's that downspout pipe, you know, no doubt that's been there forever. Who knows what that is. And yeah, I can see I've got a message there on the screen talking about Taylor Swift songs. Not something I'm terribly interested in, but I do leave cellular on. I know a lot of people give me a hard time about that. I've been told that it helps the drone triangulate itself. So yeah, I mean, you know, you run the risk of a phone call interrupting your flight or something like that. But yeah, I'm not, you know, I guess you know, it's just everybody flies a little different. That's one of the things I do. So yeah, let's make some time going down the river here. I'm going to put it in sport mode here. I just flipped it right up into sport mode, and you got to remember obstacle avoidance is off then. And yeah, boy, it really sped up. We're about 19, a little over 19 meters per second, so that's right around 40 miles an hour, and now it's picking up a little bit. There's little to no wind, so the drone shouldn't be having to deal with any wind here today. Let's see if we can get, just for the fun of it, this is that OcuSync 3. Let's see if we can get negative height. Yeah, see, we're below the rim of the canyon now. Oh yeah, weak signal. And yeah, aircraft not connected. So yeah, I went low enough that it lost connection. So it should go straight up, and it'll start coming back to us here. I threw it back in normal mode. So let's see how quick we get connection back. So I don't know, we were about 13 meters or so below the rim of the canyon there when we lost connection. So let's see how fast, yeah, there we got it back. Yeah, and it's in return to home, and look at it's coming. We'll let it come back over the side of the canyon here. And look at that, ooh, baby. Ah, that's cool, huh? Okay, we want to stop that. We don't need to come all the way home. So we're stopping right there. We're going to turn right around and go back over the side of the canyon. So, you know, a lot of people ask me all the time, well, can you just fly down into the canyon? Well, you can for a ways, but because you're down in a hole, you're going to lose signal, and that's even with OcuSync 3. So, okay, let's go back into sport mode, full stick forward, and back out over the canyon. We're at about 12 meters high here. And that kind of surprised me there, because I thought we had our return to home set at 35 meters. I'll have to look at the height. So did it probably only ascended 35 meters from where it was there. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at that, because that's a little bit concerning. So if you are below that max, or that you're in negative values there, does it just go up 35 meters and not 35 meters from the takeoff point? I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Because as I recall, when it went over to the side of the canyon, it didn't seem like it was that high off of the canyon. Yeah, so you know what? I was going to head straight over the land there, but let's take a look at the canyon here. So we got some. I'm going to drop the gimbal down here. We got some pretty good little bit of rapids there. And for a second, I thought that was a boat coming upriver, a jet boat or something, but it looks like it's just a rock there. And again, you know, I want to say I'm in full sunlight with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I've got a good bright screen here, so not having any problems seeing the screen, and we're in full sunlight, so that's a good thing. And I mean, the range on this drone, I mean, it is just, it really gives you a lot of confidence in this product. So if we went down here far enough, and we're not, we would end up at Celebration Park and Guffey Bridge. And I've shown you that on other videos before. And there's a number of trails here, and this is just walking trails at this point. You cannot drive on this part of the river. There's no road to drive, but there is a trail, so you could walk this part of the river if you so desired. So I don't want to go out too terribly much further than this. We can go out over the top of these little. These interesting little lava outcroppings here are kind of worth looking at. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah, so when the Bonneville Dam burst 10,000 years ago, the earthen dam, and all that water was rushing in here, I wonder, it definitely probably wore that down a little bit. And then look at this guy right here. Now this is interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that's an interesting little piece of rock. Okay, onward and upward. And what you see off in the distance there is Halverson Lake. And I've always wanted to fly to Halverson Lake, but we're not going to do it today. That is a lot further out there, so I have no desire on my second flight of this drone to push it like that. So anyway, let's start bringing it back the other way, and this is the other side of the canyon. That would be kind of the, I don't know, the southwest side of the canyon, I guess. And you can see it's already in the shade. I mean, the winter sun is definitely low in the sky. Now this is a cool view that that you don't get often, because we've got the sun kind of at the back of the drone here. This is awesome. Yeah, I like this. We're going to bring this guy back. We're still at 61% battery, so we're doing good. Man, is this beautiful or what? Holy mackerel. I'm moving sideways here, see if we can kind of get right over the top of the river, the Snake River. And, you know, the water level is kind of low. It's been kind of a minimal water year, although we've had a lot of precip in the last couple months, so hopefully that portends for a winter where we get enough precip in the mountains that it will feed all these rivers and streams and fill the reservoirs, etc. All the agriculture here, they use a lot of water. And then of course in the Northwest, hydroelectric is a huge deal. So we got a ton of dams that are all producing power for us. And in my last video, my first flight with this drone, you got to see the Swan Falls Dam, and I don't think that's a major power supplier, but it definitely does put out some power, so it all helps. you know, they talk about carbon emissions. You know, it seems to me that hydropower is, you know, you're not burning any fossil fuel to produce that stuff. So, and I know there's concerns, you know, about fish and so forth, and those are absolutely legitimate. But you know, it is, you can't argue with the fact that it's very clean power. Okay, let's start moving kind of sideways here. And kind of get a look at the side of the canyon here a little bit. Drop that gimbal down so we can kind of get a little different look. And we'll kind of, as I'm turning here, I'm kind of bringing the stick back so that we're kind of moving backwards. And that's that ground that we just covered. So let's go back the other way here. Ooh, a little quick yaw there, sorry about that. I am in sport mode, so the sticks are a little sensitive. And back forward again. And let's see, we're only 12 meters high here, but it looks to me like that'll get us over the side of the canyon here. And, you know, again, this is a spot that I have parked at before. You guys have seen me parked right there. Let's go back over the side of the canyon. It's always a better look. Let's drop that gimbal down a little bit so you can see over the side here. Woohoo! If that's not an e-ticket ride, I don't know what is, huh? Yeah, so we got 44% battery, man. We're doing good. And again, typical, I'm in sport mode. I fly in sport mode a lot. But one thing you got to remember is none of those obstacle avoidance sensors are going to work while you're in sport mode. And boy, look at the long shadows. And it's, what is it? It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. Yeah, 2:58 p.m. on my watch. Yeah, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun's darn near down. Okay, I'm going to put it in normal mode here. And we'll kind of slowly move around here. I'll tell you one thing about being out in a place like this, and anywhere there's cattle anywhere near, there's a ton of flies, and so I'm kind of swatting flies while I fly here. This is kind of an interesting spot right here, isn't it? Look at this. You know, you got to wonder what, I mean, it must have just like collapsed or something. Let's kind of move over the top of that. Yeah, that top part of the canyon must have just collapsed down in there. Who knows how many thousands of years ago that happened. Pretty cool. And we are, yeah, we're back in normal mode here, so we're good. Yeah, okay, that's a raven we see in front of it. I saw him. Yeah, those are ravens right there. There are a lot of ravens in the side of this canyon. They nest right in the side of the canyon. And they, you know, I've never had them mess with a drone, but they definitely chase each other around and stuff. Okie dokie. Let's do a little desert running and head back home. What do you think? Coming back towards us here. Let's throw it back into sport mode. Obstacle avoidance unavailable, it says. And we are definitely burning some battery, right? I mean, When you fly this fast, you're definitely going to burn some battery. I'm going to grab some altitude. I know those power lines are up here someplace, and I just don't want to take any chances. You know what? What is this road here? I have never looked at this road. Back in normal mode. Yeah, it looks like it's just a road. Corner of a pasture here, so. You know, you see them running cattle here quite often. Yeah, there's those power lines. I just wanted to make sure, you know, I know you always want to be aware of stuff like that. So let's look over the side again. Yippee-ki-yay. You know, where else could you get that kind of view but with a drone? I mean, I just think that is so freaking cool. I love it. Okay, I hear an aircraft behind me. And he is way up there, so nowhere near where we're at. And I'm not seeing anything on ADS-B, so. And there I am. You can see my truck off in the distance there. I want to get my eyes on this aircraft again. Make sure I see him. Yeah, oh, there he is. Yeah, he's way up there. He's way up there, and he is to the northeast of us. Actually, probably just due north right now. So I'm going to hit return to home. Let's see if we can get the first time we did this with this drone, when it landed over at the Snake River Canyon, or at Dedication Point, I should say, we did not get a precision landing. And we're already 46 meters high. And I'm looking at that aircraft. He is way to the north of us and way higher than we are. So just want to let you know, those are the kind of things you got to pay attention to. And there you can see the truck, and it's coming right back to us here. We're down to 27% battery. We've been flying for 20 minutes at essentially full throttle the whole time. So let's drop this gimbal down as we get closer. You can see me standing there. And let's just see. Man, this drone is so quiet. You know what this drone sounds like? And you know what? I noticed that it lowers altitude as it comes back too. So as it comes home, must be part of that smart return to home. So I got the camera pointed straight down, and let's see how close. And it may not have precision landing. Yeah, it probably doesn't, and it's going to land on the pavement. So we're just going to let it land. I didn't think about that. I wonder. I'll bet you precision landing is not enabled on this guy yet. But I just let it land that time because we were on the pavement. So that's one of those features, intelligent features, that I guarantee you, I'll bet you is not enabled yet. Let's look in the menu here real quick, and let's go to the safety. I'm trying to remember where. In fact, I don't think DJI doesn't put that in the menu, do they? I fly so many drones. There's some of them you have to enable it, some of them you don't. But yeah, I don't think it's not even in the menus. So yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let me stop recording. Let me get everything shut down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, there it is, the second flight of my Mavic 3. I always have to think about it. I always want to say Mavic Air or something like that. These names, you got to keep them straight. And there's not that many Mavics anymore, right? I mean, there isn't any Mavics except for the big dog, the Mini 2 and then the Air 2S. So they reserved the Mavic name for this big dog. But man, what a pleasure flying this guy. We had it all over out here. We kind of demonstrated a little bit of the APAS system, and it works like a charm. Quite frankly, just like it does on the Air 2S, but probably a little more aggressive, I would say. And I really like that radar view around the drone. I also like the way it locks the gimbal in place. That's pretty cool. this thing just, it just flies. There's just nothing that flies like a DJI drone, and they all just get a little bit better with each iteration of the new drone, and this is the best yet. It's so precise, so easy to fly. I can make drone moves this thing that you just cannot do with lesser drones, so pretty darn cool. And you know, we went a long ways. We got over the canyon there and got to look around a little bit. Nice sunny day, no wind today. Oh, we did also prove that, yeah, you can lose connection if you get down in negative altitude, get below the rim of the canyon. I think we were only 12, 13 meters below the canyon when we lost connection and went and returned to home, ascended. Now, one of the things I want to look at on the screen recording is, I had return to home set at 35 meters, so did it count those meters that we were below the side of the canyon? If that's the case, you definitely would want to take that into consideration anytime you went down, because you'd want it to go back up high enough. And of course, if you had APAS on, it wouldn't be a problem, or at least the drone would probably hover at that point. But in any case, you know, a bunch of hypotheticals there, but we'll take a look at that. Man, just a phenomenal piece of technology. So, yeah, enough jibber jabber. That's about it. My friend Ron Brown says that all the time, so I've kind of picked up that saying too. And by the way, Matt Cundiff, I did get your text message. It was while I was flying, so you will have seen that in this video. And yeah, so that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The DJI Mavic 3, just so darn much fun. See you guys later. Bye.